on a tangent, so I think it's time for me to sit down. But anyway, we must sell out all that we have to possess the treasures of the kingdom. And I just want to, in closing, kind of remind you about the early church, you know, the Holy Ghost outpouring and the vibrancy of the early church and everything. And the 12 apostles said, well, you know, it's not good for us to leave the ministry of the word and to take care of all the material needs of the congregation. So they looked for men full of the Holy Ghost. Whoa! Why didn't you just choose anybody there to minister and do the stuff around the church? They looked for men full of the Holy Ghost. Stephen was one of them. Amen. He was full of the Holy Ghost and faith and power. And Philip was the other one, full of the Holy Ghost. So they were given the job, the menial task of taking care of, maybe cleaning the church, who knows. They were given the menial task of taking care of the material needs of the church. But because they were full of the Holy Ghost, that wasn't what they were intended for, was it? So the next thing we see about Philip is that he was taken up in the Spirit, and he was found out in a desert place where there was the Ethiopian eunuch coming through, and he preached to him, and he started an amazing move of the Spirit through this man, that the Holy Ghost took him there. And Philip had daughters that prophesied. Philip he had girls that prophesied. Wow. They're full of the Holy Ghost. They're full of the Holy Ghost. They're powerful, full of faith. And Stephen, the Lord chose for him to take the path that had the great trial, didn't he? But Stephen was full of faith and full of the Holy Ghost, and he stood up in front of the crowd and he proclaimed the gospel to them without fear, without backing down. He was an incredible giant killer. And so they didn't like it so much that they stoned him. And as the stones were hitting his body, he looked up into the heavens and he saw the Lord. And he just went to sleep. And he just graduated straight out into the presence of the Lord. Amen. Full of the Holy Ghost, took him right there. Hallelujah. So I just want to encourage all of us to just figure out, what do I treasure? Am I willing to give everything for it? If you're not, it might not be that important to you. But if you treasure it, you're going to hold on to it. And if you have this treasure in an earthen vessel, hear me now. You hear what I'm going to say? If you have this treasure in your earthen vessel, you will do everything to keep that. And there are places, and I'm not going to read all those scriptures because I don't want to go there. It's kind of negative. But it talks about people falling away. It does. People that have had the Holy Ghost can become reprobate. Amen. And you cannot become a reprobate or a blasphemer of the Holy Ghost if you've never had the Holy Ghost. So there's folks that go to that way extreme because why? They don't treasure the Holy Ghost. So I want to encourage us to be filled with the Holy Ghost. Be filled Ghost ever, you need the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
Because I don't know how anybody can make it through this life without the Holy Ghost. I really, really don't. You need the power of God that will keep you and strengthen you and be your joy and just, it's something that the world can't take away. The devil can come to somebody that's never experienced this and can say, oh, that Bible stuff, that doesn't, it's just a Bible. There's, cast doubts and everything about your experience. Oh, you just thought you believed on the Lord. You just thought. The devil can really get after you sometimes. But when you have received the baptism of the Holy Ghost, and it was something that came from someplace else, and it came down over you and filled you up, and you felt the power of God filling you up, and you began to give voice to that Spirit of God within you, no one can ever tell you, no one can ever convince you that you did not have that experience. You know you did. You know you've been baptized with the Holy Ghost. And we need to be filled with the Holy Ghost. And we need to take every opportunity when we come in here and sing these songs of Zion and just can lose ourselves in this music and worship and praise, to just, wherever you're at in this building, just let yourself just begin to be filled with the Holy Ghost. Let the joy of the Lord, just let it begin to flow. Yeah, just let it begin to refresh you and cleanse you and fill you up. Wow, you won't walk out here the same way you walked in. I can guarantee you. Amen. All right. Well, I have had plenty of words and I've got no tear like crazy, but I'm not going to use them. So anyway, I just want you all to be blessed. I love you and I thank the Lord for every one of you. And I just encourage you to just go on. Amen. Amen.